Jesus, the new king, did not come to abolish the law of Moses. Rather, he came to uplift the standard of the old law. Now that the requirement has been so greatly uplifted, it is no longer the old law, but the new law of the kingdom of the heavens. Christ uplifted the standard of the old law in two ways, by complementing the old law and by changing it. In verses 17 through 30, we see the complementing of the old law. The change of the law begins with verse 31. In this message, we can cover only the complementing of the old law. Verse 18 says, "For truly I say to you, until the heaven and the earth pass away, one iota or one title shall by no means pass away from the law until all come to pass. After the millennial kingdom, the old heaven and the old earth will pass away, and the new heaven and new earth come in." What the law covers extends only to the end of the millennial kingdom, whereas what the prophets cover extends to the new heaven and new earth. This is why both the law and the prophets are referred to in verse 17. But only the law, not the prophets, is mentioned in verse 18. The fulfillment of the law will last until the end of the millennium, at which time the heavens and the earth will pass away. Before that takes place, not one iota or little of the old law will be annulled. However, what is covered by the prophets goes farther than the millennium, reaching into new heaven and new earth. Christ fulfilled the law in three ways. He himself kept the law. However, because we did not keep it, he died on the cross for our transgressions of the law. His substitutionary death brought in the resurrection life, which has been imparted into our being. By his resurrection life, we are able to fulfill the requirements of the new, higher law. By these three steps, Christ has more than fulfilled the old law. He kept it. He died for us, and his death brought into us the resurrection life to strengthen us for fulfilling the requirements of the new law. Today, we are not trying to keep the lower law. Rather, we are keeping the uplifted higher law through the higher life that is in us. Now we are able to keep the highest law, keeping even the least of the commandments of the law being the condition to be great in the kingdom. Verse 19 says, "Whoever therefore shall annul one of the least of these commandments, and shall teach men so, shall be called least in the kingdom of the heavens. But whoever practices and teaches them, he shall be called great in the kingdom of the heavens." The commandments here refer to the law in verse 18. The kingdom people not only fulfill the law, but complement the law. Actually, they do not annul any commandments of the law, not even one of the least. Whether we shall be great or small in the kingdom of the heavens depends upon whether or not we keep even the least of the commandments of the law. In this verse, Christ stressed the fact that if we do not keep all of the least of the commandments of the law, but annul them and teach others to annul them, we shall become the least in the kingdom of the heavens. In other words, Christ seemed to be saying, if you would be great in the kingdom of the heavens, you must have the highest standard of morality. If your standard of morality does not reach the standard of the new law, you will be the least in the kingdom of the heavens. The morality of no other people is as high as that of the kingdom people. Never think that we care only for life and not for morality. Life must have its expression, and the highest life has the highest expression. Morality is simply the expression of life. Thus, if you have the highest life, you will certainly have the highest morality as the expression of this life. We need to pray, "Lord, grant me the highest expression of life. Grant me to have the highest level of morality." Lord, we are not only moral people, but kingdom people. Because the standard of the kingdom is higher than the standard of morality, we must do more than keep the standard of the old law. According to the standard of the morality, we should not commit murder or adultery. If we abstain from murder and adultery, we are moral people. But such a standard is much lower than that of the kingdom. According to the standard of the kingdom of the heavens, we should not be angry with our brother or look at a woman to lust after her. This is not the standard of morality, it is the standard of the kingdom, which is much higher than that of morality. The standard of morality says eye for eye, tooth for a tooth, but the standard of the kingdom tells us to love our enemies, to pray for those who persecute us, and not to resist one who is evil. If someone strikes us on our right cheek, we should turn to him the other also. How much higher is this standard than the standard of morality? The crucial point that Christ is stressing in these verses is that the kingdom people must have the highest standard of morality. If we see this matter, then we are able to understand chapter 5, verse 17 to 48. We have the highest law, the highest life, the highest standard. By the highest life, we fulfill the highest law and have the highest standard. The surpassing righteousness being the condition to enter into the kingdom. In verse 20, the king said, "For I say to you that unless your righteousness surpass that of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall by no means enter into the kingdom of the heavens." The surpassing righteousness is the condition of entering into the manifestation of the kingdom of the heavens in the millennium. By keeping the highest law to the highest standard, we fulfill the condition for entering into the coming manifestation of the kingdom of the heavens.